Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Tuesday night.
What's
Chat
happening?
with the Muskrat and Creole. What's
Yes,
going
sir.
on, my brother?
Oh, all kinds of stuff going on, brother. All kinds of stuff. We're getting some what I call some y'all weather.
Y'all weather?
Yeah. Like we have weather like y'all do now. Cold, freezing rain. They're possibly talking about snow flurries. Dude, No.
That don't
Don't
sound
go
good.
for all this.
Don't sound good.
No.
That's how you get ill. You feeling any better today? I heard that.
I'll make it. It'll be all right. I ain't letting it drag me down.
I got you. Well, hey, why don't we start out and try to get ahead of these folks and try to say some hellos real quick.
Absolutely.
And,
Let me scroll on to the top here. Looks like our first one in chat was Mr. Stonefly71. What's going on? Man?
He says he settled for third, so there was actually two people ahead of him, but I don't see him either. I couldn't see him earlier.
First on my screen, so hey, that's what counts, right? Possession is 9/10 of the law. And right after that, we got Pontoon Jody. What's going on? Catfishing with Kaz. Got Mr. Chad, Fields to Water, lurking in chat as always. Whiskers and Stripes, Mr. Dale Hayslip, Chucky Morgan. Hey, Roger, you're in here. How about that?
Hey.
Hey.
I'm multi-talented.
I know, right? Jason Lamb, Central Valley Adventures, CVA. What's going on, brother? 351 Cleveland's in the house. Everybody's favorite troll, Uncle G. He's in the house. Uncle G.
Quit.
I see Mike Sampson. I see Mr. Ian Tipton in the house. John Patrick Jr. I see Hooks and Hammocks, Palmetto Cats. What's going on, brother? Bobcat Outdoors. Miss Lisa Elliott's in the house. Big Mike's in the house. 3+1 Outdoors. I'm assuming that's Mr. Larry. What's going on? Fat Boy Eric Fishing. I resemble that YouTuber. I do. I like it.
That's one of the guys here local to me. We got a date coming up here soon to go get on the water.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I see Mr. Sean Abney. I see Paw Ed's in the house. Mike G, my bumping brother. What's going on, man?
What's up, Mr. Greenwell?
Fishing Local 252. I see Miss Jennifer Hopper. I see the king of bling himself, Mr. Junkie Cats Fishing, driving while listening to us.
Perez, what's up, buddy?
Well, be safe, brother. Don't keep it between the ditches.
He don't want to see our faces anyway.
No. You enjoy the show more when you don't have to look at these mugs.
He's better off just watching the road.
Oh, yeah. Promise you. I see Mr. Wabash Nate's in the house. Let's see Sunfish Assassin. Mr. LG Bass. What's going on, man? Good to have you in here tonight.
What's up, Tom?
David Smith. Let's see Trophy Seekers Outdoors. Mr. Chris Everett, Fishing with the Squirrel. Mr. Maurice Kaysen. Great supporter of all of our
Maurice.
Warpig Catfishing. I see Whiskers and Stripes. Miss Michelle, It's All Mine. What's happening?
Did you say Daryl over at Trophy Seeker Outdoors?
Big fish of the Winter Blues tournament.
Two big fish back to back, 53 and 54. Woo.
Yeah, and if you remember right, God, I keep up with those kind of things. That's the biggest fish that has ever been caught in one of Chad's tournaments.
Ever caught in any of Chad's tournaments?
Yes, that's the biggest fish that has ever been caught in one of Chad's tournaments. That's right. I keep up with that kind of stuff. When you're a big fish guy, you keep up with that kind of stuff. Let's see. I thought I was getting to the end, but apparently not. Miss Paula Smith. What's going on? The catfish queen herself. Hope you're doing good, Paula.
Paula, thanks for taking the time to tune in with us.
Absolutely. Let's see. Scrolling down. Oh, my mom's in the house. I got to highlight that one real quick. What's up, Mom?
There you go. Always good to have family in here with us. I got some catfish family in here myself. I got my brother Bill Hopper, Warpig Catfishing.
Awesome.
We got Jim over at Buckeye Catfishing, Van V3 Customs, John Patrick Jr. We got a lot of locals here.
Yeah.
Did you notice that we had some crew members in the house as well? Jody's in the house. Crew member.
I saw that.
Fishing Costs, Sunfish Assassin, also another crew member. We got my idol right there, Chris Souders, is hanging out with us. What's going on, Chris? Boy, that puts some pressure on you.
I know, right?
Let's see. We got Jerry Parker. Man, he had a good show last night with All Poop.
Yeah.
Catfish Weekly.
Yeah, he was on with Mark with Catfish and Crappie.
Catfish and Crappie. Yeah. They all.
Yep. That's okay.
They all just kind of intertwine.
I know.
Chad, Mark, Lyle, and Chad, and more Chad. We just get a lot of Chad.
I know, right? Sean T. What's up, my brother?
I'm trying to find a video clip over here. Why I look so distracted is because I am. There's my buddy Tommy Long over at Minnow Dunkers. Sean T. I think you just said that.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we did things a little bit different. We asked for there's Ian Titman, also another Ohioan I'm going to be hooking up with here soon, getting to do some fishing with. So we asked everybody to go over to the community tab and drop a question, something that they would like for us to talk about in tonight's show. And we didn't get a lot of questions, but we got some good questions.
Yes, absolutely, we did.
And so one of the very first questions was not related to food. I don't know what happened, Jeremy. We only had a handful of questions, and 50% of them were food related. You're famous, man.
That's just how it goes sometimes, I guess.
That's just how it goes. So one of the questions, or actually most of the questions, were based around electronics and reading side scan, down imaging. I've seen a question out there about, how do you even find a spot that says I should fish this? Forgot there was homework. Yeah, man. You had to go in, check out over on Creole's page. We're trying to generate some traffic over there, and we got the drive for 1K going on for Creole. Hey, I've been watching your numbers. You've been creeping up here this last week or two.
Oh yeah, I'm at last time I checked, I'm at 961 at the moment. So
961.
We're close.
Heck yeah.
I got my watch hours got to come up a good bit, but the subs are getting there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Oh yeah,
we'll get there. So you guys keep Jeremy keep plugging away and dropping his links out to, if you happen to be in another chat somewhere and people are starting to share links and you think that some of the folks there in that chat might enjoy some of what you guys see Creole doing over in Louisiana, then drop his link and check them out.
Sure then. So
we got a lot of good folks here in chat, and helping promote each other is that's just what we do. So let me get I
actually have the questions pulled up on the ones that were posted in my tab. Like I said, we've got 3 or 4 that all pertain to the same, different aspects of the same subject: electronics, marking fish, marking structure, how to choose spots, which to me, that's an all entailed conversation right there. Very good. I mean, you can talk for a week on that subject alone right there.
And I got to tell you, I do okay reading my electronics. I tried to do a little bit of on the water stuff for you guys to kind of show you what I'm looking at, why I decided, that's why I did the live bait video thing this week. Is just kind of why I decided to throw there, and how I was able to score bait and get out of there. So good questions, and I won't lie and pretend that I know everything about electronics. I don't know that anybody does.
No,
but there are a lot of guys out there that are way better at this than I am. But I'm going to do my very best effort to share what I know and share what I've learned and found over my time. Thank you, Chad, for dropping his link. And so we'll get started here. So one of the very first things that I thought was relevant was, let me get this up here real quick. Was looking at things like this right here. For those of you that are didn't get to catch the stream this week, this is our Navionics. I'm sorry. This is our Garmin 93 SB. This is the 54 UHD. You can see the transducer. You see my cursor. The transducer is always listed down here in the left-hand corner. This is a lot of bait. This is all bait. If you look at the water temperature, we're looking at 36 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah. Today we had 38 degrees.
Wow.
And we're moving about 3 miles an hour. And I'll be honest with you, the most optimal speeds that I like and what most people I've talked to have liked are around that 3 to 4 mile an hour mark. Now, with that being said, you kind of have to play with your settings a little bit to get your scroll speed and set up with your actual boat speed. Because if you leave your scroll speed set maybe at 5 and you come to a complete stop, well, things are going to get a little funky looking.
Yeah. Yeah, they sure do.
For those of you that are running Garmin, they have a cheat because it reads your speed. It automatically speeds your scroll speed up and slows it down as you move.
Wow.
So
that is pretty cool.
You get to do a little bit cheat there. So this screen here, this was just a boatload of bait that we seen. And actually, there's Clearview Outdoors. There's Skip. This was actually Skip's monitor. I can tell by looking at the dash in the background. This is on Skip's boat. Another view of marking fish and marking bait on the side scan. So if we scroll in here and just kind of take a look, you guys see this looks like a flow, a cloud close to a shad keel in my part of the river. That's rough.
You far from it.
You can tell right here, there's a lot of bait right here in this middle section. That's in your water column. There you go. Zach Murray. What's going on, brother?
River Warriors in the house.
Zach has his electronics dialed in, and he knows what he's reading and knows what he's looking at. And I got some pictures from Zach's unit as well here that we'll get to here later on. But if you're wanting to kind of see what else this is, you see all these little specks. Each of these little specks out here are fish. Now, depending on your range, how big of a fish that could be. So if you notice in this screen, we're actually zoomed out farther than what we normally do. We're zoomed out 100 feet to the left and to the right. And we're in 20 foot of water. So technically, we're only looking at 80 foot out. But you think about 80 foot condensed down to this little tiny screen. You start marking fish like these right here. These are big shad. That's big bait. Is this picked from Lord of the Rings? No, I don't think so. All right. Now here's a picture of dialing in your electronics. Anybody tell me what that is?
That looks like a Ford Edge SUV.
Ford Edge. That's exactly what it is. This wasn't one of our photos, but this was a Humminbird unit that, it takes time to dial in your units and get them set up for the water conditions and clarity that you have. It takes a little bit of. Is Stan in the house?
I didn't see Stan, but I hear if you say the S word 3 times, that Stan appears.
Sturgeon Stan, Sturgeon Stan, Sturgeon Stan. Like Beetlejuice. These are sturgeon. Now, if you remember the screen we were just looking at, how small the specks are, these are sturgeon. And I only know that because the person who posted this confirmed that they were sturgeon. And, this was a screenshot I got off of a Facebook group that we share electronics. I'm a member of a Humminbird and a Garmin group.
Okay.
And, we discuss settings and talk about options and things. And so if you're having trouble with settings on your unit, go to one of these groups. If you're a Lowrance guy, Humminbird, Garmin, whatever the case may be. Yeah, they've got it dialed in. That's really good. It's 7 foot of water. If you notice there, getting really good pictures, really good clarity. This here is also this was on a Helix 9. And so if you take a look, I think you can guys tell that those are not Cheerios. They look like Cheerios. Those are tires down in the water. And so when you're taking a look at how the side scan works, you think about how big this tire is in comparison to how big of a fish you're looking for.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives you a point of reference, basically. this is how big a tire looks at this distance. So the reason I bring that up is because those are donuts. Because when you're looking at your electronics and you have something out there, a tire is great because they're all about the same size, give or take.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
But when you see them tires out there on your side scan, you could kind of judge like, okay, this tire looks, these tires up here look real big. I don't know if they're just tractor tires or something's different going on there. See, these are kind of like down over a hump. It's a little lighter colored here. Mm-hmm. There's a shadow here. That means that it looks like it's dropping off down in here. But when you find something, point of reference, whether it's a dock, a tire, a boat, or a car on the bottom, it kind of helps you gauge real quick, how big of a fish am I actually looking for? Is it even going to show up, quite like I need it to? Sometimes the fish shows up and you know exactly what it is. Who in chat could tell me exactly what that fish is, except for Zach, because this is his unit.
I know, but I'm gonna let chat figure it out.
I bet Brenda, Catfishing with Cost, I bet she could tell me what that fish is right there. Yeah, that's a spoonbill. That is a spoonbill. Paddlefish. There we go. We got a couple.
Yeah, see, he got it.
Yeah, this is Zach's unit here, and he's got it dialed in. Yeah, Zach is very good at adjusting his clarity, scroll speed, and all that stuff to stay up with what his boat's doing at the time. So
yeah,
this is just another big picture. This is on. I'm not sure this. Oh yeah, this is Zach's. This is Zach's unit. This is one of the spots where we're scanning next to the bank. You can tell that, right here that you got a graph and it goes over, but it stops. And the black is, well, that's land. The water ran out. And you see all these fish in the water column that are off the bottom. So just remember what's in the black. And I got a better picture of it here in just a minute. What's in the black is under your boat, basically. Mm-hmm. So this down there is just kind of showing off that. This one here is a chicken. That's a chicken on the bottom of the river. That's why we use chicken for bait. They are down there. It's hard. They're hard to find. But I was able to spot a chicken on the graph, and he was hanging out with the fish. And so you see a fish all around this chicken, and that's why they hit chicken so good. Dieter put that down there.
You see, you heard it here first, folks. Chickens do live in the water.
Chicken live underwater. So I know James Smith been talking about salmonella.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, so here we go. So here's what I want you guys to take away and think about when you're looking at your graph. And when you're adjusting your depth, your side scan out to how far you want it to go. Remember that, part of that is your water column. So like in this illustration here, you see that you're set up to scan out to 100 feet, but you're in 20 foot of water. So the actual lake bottom that you're looking at is 80 feet. All right. So what you got to keep in mind is if you have this set at 100 feet and you go to 60 foot of water, you're looking at 40 feet now, which may be what you want. You may be trying to really dial in, and the farther out you go, the smaller everything gets, the harder it is to see. So there's a fine line of zooming in too much and making it to where things are so small you won't ever detect them.
Yeah.
And so this right here hopefully helps somebody understand that the how the sonar set it. It's kind of crazy. It's actually, if you take a piece of paper and fold it straight down and straight over like an L, that's how they read, straight down and straight over. Which I don't understand how they do that. Which I don't understand how any of this works. To be completely honest, but that is how they're designed to work. And this one here, I threw in here just to kind of give you an idea that on average, now there's different cone sizes depending on your frequency, whether you're at 455, 800 kilohertz, or if you go up into the megahertz ranges, your cone size is going to vary some. But on average, your cone is only looking at about a third of your water depth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in 30 feet of water, your circle that you're looking at is about 10 feet across, 10 feet front to back. That's not a very big footprint.
No, it's not.
That's why to me, side imaging is hands down, in my opinion, it's probably the most important. If I had to choose, I have to choose only one of those. Hey, thank you, Jennifer Hopper. That's Bill Hopper's wife. She's happy for me getting both. So anyway, when you're scanning down there, this is a bass, so we're looking for bait here. Remember that it's only a third of what you see down there. That's why the side imaging information is going to help you out much farther down the road. Did you have something, buddy?
No, I was just highlighting.
You gotta watch me, man. I'll just keep talking.
No, you're good. You're good. Trust me.
I know you're feeling a little under the weather, and
you're good. Trust me. This is probably the quietest anybody's going to see me for a while.
Yeah.
Apparently, it takes COVID to shut me up.
Yeah, Mark's saying that the cone is actually 20% of the depth, and not. I was going clear up to 30%, 33%, but Mark's saying it's 20% of depth. And like I said, Mark knows his electronics, and
I think the cone. I think he's right. I think the cone on down scan is much tighter than the 2D sonar, if I remember right.
What's that? I'm sorry, I was reading Uncle Lou's comment.
Yeah, he said I've always heard that too. That your cone width on down scan is much tighter.
Yes.
Than your cone width on 2D sonar.
Yes. Yep. And maybe that's what he's talking about there. I might be off talking about 2D in that picture. But basically, the higher the frequency you go, the smaller your cone gets.
That's right.
So like 2D, if you're reading, around 83 kilohertz, which used to be the standard, but now it's kind of all over the place. You get in the 70s and 100 and whatever. And as you go higher, that cone gets smaller.
Yeah.
Uncle Lou says, I'd like to know how to set my Humminbird headline properly for bumping, how to turn shades off on 2D to see nothing but fish. I don't know that we can do that. Only the fish show up. I see what he's saying. You turn that shading off on the bottom. Just turn the bottom off, or make it a thin line or something.
Yeah.
And it pick up, but that would be, I don't know. I think that would be pretty difficult to do, especially a lot of fish lay right tight to the bottom.
Yeah.
A lot of people miss fish, and I'm included. Miss fish that are holding to the bottom that look like a hump, and it's not a hump. It's a fish.
And you see down scan is great for that. Down scan is great for getting that separation. When them fish are really, really, really tight on the bottom, it really does a good job of showing them to you. I know on my unit, I run a Lowrance. On my unit, I can actually overlay my 2D sonar on my down scan. Yeah. It actually shows both. And it'll show my colored arches in with my down scan image. And there's a lot of fish that I wouldn't have seen if it not been for that. It's a great feature on the Lowrances. I'm not sure if I'm sure the other ones have that too.
Right. Yeah. This picture here is basically just reiterating the same as the other picture here. It's talking about the distance from the transducer and the bottom of the lake is 20 feet, which is illustrated right up here in this box. And then the distance in blue out, total range is 80 feet. But like you said, you got to minus the 20 feet, which makes your range actually 60 feet out to the side.
Yeah, the way it was explained to me once is that, for kind of a simple way of looking at it, when you set your width on your side scan, that number is not how far out you're going. That width is basically your graph reference on your screen. And like I said, you have to include your water depth in with that, because remember, it's taking that vertical line below your boat and it's doing this with it on your graph. So you have to include that distance from your transducer to the bottom.
Yep. Let me see. We got a couple other things in store for tonight, so we'll talk a little bit about that. This here, one of the questions was how to determine, structure, how to choose an area to fish, things like that. Having your sonar set up to where you can read things like drop-offs and ledges, like we're seeing over here on this spot right here that looks like, brush pile or root ball or something of the sort down there on the bottom. And on this side here, it's showing that, it's got a drop off right there. That's how, the way side scan works, if you take two flashlights butt to butt and shine them straight out the side of your boat, that's what the picture looks like on the bottom. So you're going to have shadows. You're going to have, brighter spots. So if the contour is coming up and it's getting, a good return off that surface, it's going to be a bright. And when it's like this here and it's dropping off and going down, it's a shadow because that's how those readings are read.
Yeah.
So in this illustration here, it's showing that on this drop off right here on this ledge, there are fish suspended. Looks like basically towards the top of it. And those are how you're going to mark some of your fish. Now up here, this isn't what they show, but these up here look like they're fish as well. You got a brighter return off these couple objects here with a shadow back behind them. Can't really tell by looking at it if those ones up there are also fish. But
yeah,
if I was reading this from my boat, I would say that these two here are fish. And it looks like in this illustration, it's set up to read at like 125 or 150 feet out. So if I could see a fish like this right here. What's up, Michael Williams? If I can see a fish like this when it is zoomed out 150 feet, those are good fish.
Yeah.
I can't tell if they're catfish or not. So what I'll do, depending on depth, which the depth looks like it's right around 22, 23 feet. And that's a safe depth to cruise over. I would drop a waypoint on these fish and cruise over them and see what kind of readings I get on my 2D.
Yep.
CVA, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing I'll do with mine. I'm not at all proficient with my side scan yet. I'm still learning a lot about it, but I'll use my side scan. I'll turn it out a good bit. I'm looking, especially in an area I've never been before. I'll look for anything on the bottom I need to see. In my case, I'm looking for places that have the matter of revetment versus the places that don't. Rock piles, logs, things like that. I'll check those areas, and if I find something I like, like Roger said, I'll turn around and I'll pass over it with my 2D to really see what's in there and if I can mark some good fish or not.
Absolutely. I'm trying to take this down real quick. I'm trying to find something here. Have we had any questions in chat? I kind of just ran off.
No, I've been keeping up with the questions. It seems like whenever somebody would ask a question, you would kind of automatically roll to that subject on your own. So it looks like it's been really good, and people making just some good comments to reinforce what you're talking about.
Yeah, Mark right here would have been a good person to have on panel with us tonight. Mark spends a lot of time doing research and digging into his. Hang on a second, got a couple messages here.
Yeah, you see that's what I was talking about, Warpig. That's kind of what I was talking about. I'm assuming what he's talking about overlaying is what I was talking about earlier, on how you can overlay 2D sonar on top of your down scan.
Yes.
For me, it helps a lot for that separation. Especially if you're in a structure heavy environment, a lot of stuff on the bottom. That right there is sometimes the only way I can tell fish from other things on the bottom. It really helps me if that's what you're referring to. It really helps me tremendously. Especially this time of year, those fish are going to be real tight to the bottom, colder water. It is. I'm going to go ahead and say it's crucial for me this time of year.
I had something else I was trying to do. and I'm trying to figure out where it went. So I gotta. I'll let you take over for a minute while I try to get this figured out. I had something.
Let's see. Kind of looking through chat right here real quick. But yeah, I mean, different areas. Like I know, like where I fish, it just depends on the area I'm in, water depth, things like that, as to what tool of sonar I'm using. I am heavily reliant on my 2D. And that's probably because I know more about my 2D than anything else. I'm more comfortable with it. But 2D is the final determining factor of if I'm going to set up in a spot or not. My side scan, my down scan is I'm looking for general structure, things like that. But running over it with my 2D is going to tell me if there's fish there and I like what I see. But I think everybody's a little different when it comes to that as far as what they'll use to determine certain things. Like I know Roger, he uses his side scan a lot more than, let's say, what I do. And a lot of it is he's a lot better on side scan than I am. It's a comfort thing, I suppose.
Here's a good question. Jeremy, do you remember how to answer that?
I do remember how to answer that. Actually, you did a show on that a while back, explaining that if you set up and you navigate back to a point, and let's say you're 80 feet from that point, well, depending on the water depth, depends on how much line you have to let out, and there's actually a math formula to figure that out. If anybody remembers anything from high school, it's called the Pythagorean Theorem. Okay, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which means the length to your point is a squared. The depth of your water is b squared. You add those two together, then take the square root of that answer. And that's your distance down to your point in your depth of water. Naturally, the deeper the water is going to be, the longer your line is going to be to try to get down to it. But that can be found. You can find that on the internet, things like that. If you really, really want to get really precise, really, really, really precise with accurate casting and accurately throwing on fish, that will make a big difference. Now, the one thing that'll throw you just a little, like in my case, I'm going to throw that certain distance, but my currents are usually so strong that I have to account for a little bit of what I call the blowaway. That current is going to take my bait and want to sail it out, because sometimes if I just hold it and wait for it to go down, it's not going to go down. Even with 12 ounces of lead, it'll still float it. I actually have to let line out and let it fall. So in my case, I kind of have to account for that. Sometimes I find myself almost bumping my rig back to something that I'm trying to fish because the current's just wanting to push it so hard. So it's always something to think about.
So yeah, Ian, that's a really good question. I don't know. It's probably about a year ago. I did a Tuesday night episode, and I used my fish tank in the living room to help do the illustration. I'm a very visual person. I gotta see it. It's one of the things I like most about Chris Flores's videos, where he's done some of the illustrations, putting the pool noodles and things like that.
Yep.
And then we've got a hey, looky there. We've got a special guest tuning in with us tonight.
Check it out.
Okay, now you're on the show.
How you doing?
See?
It's now Lauren's show. How are you?
Right.
Good.
You gotta speak up.
Good.
Well, happy birthday to you. Have you had a good birthday?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do today?
We went to F&O's and opened some presents.
Oh,
and
yeah?
they got a present too. And hers was lipstick. That's what she calls lip gloss.
Lip gloss. Well,
She calls it lipstick.
oh, here we go. There's a bunch of happy birthdays coming in for Lauren. And I'm trying to find something here for her. And it is kicking my butt. So I'm going to keep looking as we try to get through here real quick because I don't know what happened.
See, look, everybody's saying happy birthday. They're putting it up on the screen.
I'm having a hard time keeping up with them. There's so many of them.
I'm trying to find this file.
Nope, stay over there, Leo.
Stay over there, Leo. Sorry. That's my dog. He's trying to be in the podcast. I mean,
Lauren, did you already tell everybody how old you are today?
6.
6? You're not 6.
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Uncle Kevin says he wants to hear you do the evil laugh.
No.
Not yet? Okay.
What?
We'll work up to it.
No, Kevin. No.
There you go. Fuss at him. Tell him.
I'm trying to find.
Kevin.
That's pretty evil.
That's pretty evil.
That is.
Do you recognize any of these folks in chat, Lauren? They're saying hello and hi to you.
Bye.
I bet Lauren could probably pass on the Anglerholic. She watches a lot of YouTube, doesn't she, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
She definitely recognized Mark's logo because she still says he makes the best hats. So
I don't recognize it.
I don't know.
Deny.
So I've got this thing.
I had to put that one up.
There's Mark again.
Is there Mark?
Yeah. The one with 2 hooks on the words and the middle of hooks.
Yep.
I have a broken arm.
I'm trying to find something. So we've got a lot of people hanging out in chat. We've got a lot of happy birthdays and hellos.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you went to the bouncy house.
Yep.
We went to the bouncy house.
Are you wore out?
Oh, I'm wore out. The kids are still going.
Yeah, I have 100 million watches in my face.
We went there and we met my niece and my great nieces. My great nieces are
Mila
both of them
and
are
Stella.
both of them are no.
I mean Mia.
Yeah, Mia. Both of them are about 2 months younger than my children because my brother had his first child a week after he graduated high school, and I didn't have my first child until I was 39.
Wow.
So there's a big difference there.
Now he's 45.
Yeah.
You're
And
not supposed to tell on him.
So much for keeping that a secret, huh?
But so it's neat that the two of them are that close in age to the other two. So it's fun, and they had some cupcakes, and unfortunately, don't do that. Unfortunately, our little 3-year-old kind of found her first boyfriend.
Yeah.
His name was Benji, and he could climb and bounce around really well. I wasn't prepared for that at all.
Yeah, I beat Leia.
Yeah, Lauren does better on the bigger items, and
Okay.
Leia still loses to gravity. So try to remind her that gravity always wins. I'm going to be putting up a couple short little videos. Hopefully I'll try to get that up there later tonight or tomorrow. Everybody will enjoy that. So
Awesome.
Well, speaking of little videos, we have a little video here. We'll pull this down, and we're going to pull this up. And
play it.
They made a video for it.
Hey, Lauren and Spencer, just wanted to take the time to wish you a very, 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 very happy birthday. And with that being said, I'm looking forward to the next time we get to go out on the water and go fishing. Have a great day.
Sweet! No, somebody got a birthday today. What's going on, Lauren? I just want to say happy birthday to you.
What?
6 years old, growing, and I appreciate your support and watching.
I thought it was TJ because he's the same. We're the same kind, but they're same brothers.
But happy birthday. Have a wonderful one.
Hey, Lauren, this is Mark. How you doing, dear? I heard it was your birthday. Oh, my goodness. 6 years. You're growing up to be a fine young lady. I love your videos. I'm probably one of many of your fans, if not your number one fan. So I wanted to take a second here to wish you a happy birthday and hope you have a great year. All right.
Why can't I hear him?
There's Uncle Kevin.
Harry, happy birthday from Palmetto Cats.
Wait, who's that one again?
Out there that's about to turn 6-year-old.
Do I think who it is?
Well, happy birthday, Lauren. From Daryl with Trophy Seekers Outdoors. If you ever come down to Tennessee and want to fish the Tennessee River, just took up with me and I'll take you out on the old fat cat. A little bit out there. Big old bird. But until then, happy birthday to you.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, dear Lauren. I hope you get the big old blue. Hello, Merlin family. I'm Skip from the Outdoors. This is my granddaughter.
No, I don't know.
That's Skip.
I don't know him.
Lauren.
I don't recognize Skip without his hats on.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Laura. Happy birthday to you.
cha-cha-cha.
Hey, Lauren. I found a little catfish out here and wanted to say something to you.
Who is that?
That's Roger.
You're 6 years old.
Roger! Oh, so that was in your face.
Oh, it stopped early on me. Hang on. Wait, I'll come back. I'll come back to that. We had another one there. Lauren, what do you think about that?
I don't even recognize you.
You didn't recognize me? What? I got one cut.
My dog was running.
I threw his squeaky ball away from him. Hopefully we won't hear that anymore. But
let me figure out what happened to.
My name is Sillyhead.
Well, I got another one for you. I don't know what happened to the end of it.
Another one.
Again, well, it's not a whole big old line. It's just somebody else that wanted to.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
you don't have to feel embarrassed if people wish you happy birthday. It's really nice of them.
Yeah.
It's your day. It's your day. It's not anybody else's. Well, unless it's their day too.
There's Chundy. That's the one I'm trying to find. I don't know what happened to it.
That isn't Uncle Elton.
Right there.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, he's in there. He's in the chat.
Well,
he's trying to eat his own tail.
Yeah. He's a 1-year-old puppy.
Yep.
He still chases that tail.
Oh yeah.
Even though we had 2 dogs, but Murphy and Max.
Yeah.
You always have the pictures of them, and they're really perfect.
Oh, Uncle Mark wants some cake.
No.
What kind of
You
cake?
get some cake in your face.
What kind of cake is your favorite?
Poo cake.
Go on. Stop.
What?
Dude. Yeah. She's
Poo cake.
starting to lose the plot, boys. Starting to lose the energy. Usually she's up in bed by now. We had an early start and a late night tonight, so.
Yep, I might stay down here.
Well, I had one. We had one there from Elstan. I don't know how I got cut off. Trying to find it. It's
Maybe
so
he poo-pooed
confusing.
off.
What?
Stop saying that. You're going to make Roger laugh.
She won't even recognize me.
Uncle Jeremy will hold it together, but Uncle Roger
Now
will
I
start
found
laughing.
Palmetto saying its own name.
Oh boy, the cake and ice cream kicking in, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, don't it. I didn't want to leave Chunky's out. I had his in there too. I don't know why it cut off at the end because his was the last one.
Yeah.
Maybe he walked away.
Maybe he did what?
He walked away.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Let's see what happens if I do this.
What's going on, Abin?
Who's that?
He's the big guy with the big beard.
We should call him Big Beard.
No, his name is Avid.
No, Big Beard.
No, Avid.
Big
All right.
Beard.
I'll try it like this because I'm too slow to figure it out.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
I can't hear it.
I can't either.
Roger, you're not doing too good with technology so far tonight. We may have
Well, I
to.
was up until
We
this.
may have to slide those duties over to Mr. Creole.
He started off strong. He did.
He did.
All right. See if I can.
I only heard the high Lord.
Elden and Uncle Elden heard that the most beautiful little girl is turning 6 years old. And I just want to wish you a happy birthday. Lauren, you're awesome and amazing. And I want to see you keep fishing. Keep your interviews going. I enjoy them. I love them. Show your dad how to
Really
catch
see
big
his
fish.
eyeballs.
Yeah, that's okay.
Keep fishing and take
Listen to
care.
it.
Bye-bye,
Oh.
Lauren. Happy birthday.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I apologize, Elstan. I don't know how in the world that got cut off at the end, but I thought I was doing
There's
okay.
the Big Beard guy.
Yep.
Like, I even had slideshows and
Another
everything.
one.
I had it all figured out. And then the moment
Okay.
crunch time, we failed. Well,
I
anyway,
don't know.
Lauren,
It'll be all right.
wanted to tell you,
I didn't know if you
happy-
introduced the whole idea or how the whole concept came together, but Lauren has been forever appreciative of Uncle Roger for running her tournament last year when he ran the first youth angler YouTube tournament in our catfishing YouTube community here. So Roger and I had been in constant communication before that and constant communication after that. And I had told him that I had an idea of learning how to put together a video, which I still really don't do. If anybody notices, I just play. And I might cut the beginning and cut the end. That's about it. It's pretty spontaneous in that. But Roger's like, I'll do it. And I told him that I didn't want to do this just selfishly, for my child. But as it turned out, my child had a birthday coming up right away. Roger remembered. I forgot to try to work on the concept. So when he got together with Creole, that's when the idea came to me that Roger could do a child spotlight and to spotlight their birthdays. And sadly, I think it was right after, maybe the day after Gabe's birthday is when the idea hit me.
Mhm.
And so that's how this all happened. And I didn't want to put any more work on Roger, but anything that can help benefit his show, any idea, I'm going to throw it to him.
Absolutely.
So when Creole and Roger came together, you're talking about two guys on here in a community who are humongous supporters of youth angling. And that's when it all came together in my head. So it wasn't selfishly of me. I just said, hey, Raj, maybe you have a birthday spotlight in your show every now and then, should the parent want to, and should they ask and get those anglers together that they like seeing so much. So big thanks to Roger, thanks to Creole, and just really like the new partnership on the new dynamic duo we got going on here. And so thank you guys for everything, and I'm gonna send this tired girl up to bed.
There you go, Mike.
All right. It was fun, and I was honored to do it. So.
Right here.
Happy birthday, girl, and have a good night.
Yep. All right.
Later, Mike.
See you guys. So yeah, that kind of opens up a topic for us is if anybody has a birthday of a young one, and even if they don't want to come up on screen, or if they do, that they're more than welcome. I would love it to come on and see happy birthdays come flying at them from chatting, and just make their day just a little more special. But even if they don't want to do that, and you got a birthday coming up in the week prior or week around the show, shoot me a message or Creole a message, and we'll do a little shout out here on the show. And there's a lot of kids out there that enjoy watching this stuff. It's one of the reasons why we're very careful to try to make sure it's family friendly. It gets a little PG-13 at times, but for the most part, our whole mindset is to make it family friendly, to where anybody can sit down with their kids and watch this stuff.
That's right.
Maybe make somebody more passionate about catfish, and make the future theirs. So so if anybody has a birthday shout out and you want to get it on the show, by all means, me and Creole, hit us up. We'll pencil it down, and we'll shout them out in the show, and have it some fun.
All right.
Michael Snow wants to know, is 52 too old? No. The way see it, bud,
we're all kids, right?
Well, you're only young once.
That's right.
But you could be immature forever.
That's right. I try to live by that motto right there. I do my best to live by that. Growing up, no. Nobody says you have to grow up. No, not at all.
What do you got in mind, War Pig? I'm not giving away my hat. While we do have a moment here, I'm not sure if Brian B is still in the house. We were up to 70 some folks there earlier, but the show's getting later on. But I did get a sticker this week from Brian B Catfishing. Ooh. Ain't that pretty?
Everybody loves stickers.
We're going to add him up here to the wall.
Put him on the wall, baby.
It's looking good, ain't it?
Hey, Wood, you might have to get you a little bigger wall after a while. It's getting full.
That's okay. That's okay.
That is not a bad problem to have right there.
We also had a couple stickers come in from Mike Turner, 712 Catfishing. So good looking.
Yeah, I like that.
Like 712. And then he also has these graphics as well.
I like those.
So I'm going to go ahead and stick these up on the board. Both of them were generous enough to send me two, which means one goes on the board for them and one goes on the boat for me.
There you go.
So we're going to start filling this thing in just right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that wall's getting full.
Yeah, I like it. Hopefully you guys like it too. When you see, hopefully you can recognize your logo back here in the background, and I know when I see my sticker somewhere, it makes me feel pretty cool for a minute.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I was looking through on my community page some of the other questions that we had, and one, I feel this is a very important question that must be addressed at least for a minute. This is from Kelly from the Bullock Experience. Why is Chris hooks and hammocks so sharp? That could be a very long discussion into genetics, water contaminants, things like that. But we don't know. We don't know. It is what it is. So I felt that I had to address that. I really did.
I'm glad you did because I wasn't going to touch it.
You know me. I ain't scared. I love you, Chris. You know I love you.
Someone's big mug. Look, I got to take my hat off.
Oh.
Get short. Look, maybe I'd lower my chair.
There you go. Yeah. Drop that chair down a little bit.
Just drop my chair down.
I had a question directed at me, and I'm trying to find it. Here we go. From Miss Michelle from It's All Mine. Needs to know how to make a proper dark roux for a gumbo. And she said that she knows it's a 1-to-1 ratio, flour and fat, and she wants to use real butter in hers. Now, the first thing I'll say is I, nor anybody I know, has never used butter in a roux. I think the smoke point of butter is too low. I don't think it would work out the way you want it to. The traditional way of doing it is actually half and half hog lard and flour. Nobody really does that anymore. My preferred method is vegetable oil because the smoke point is much higher. It doesn't put that kind of burnt taste in the roux, but it's very simple. The darker you want your roux, just the longer you cook it. You just keep cooking it, and it'll darken, it'll darken, it'll darken. Just make sure that when you start getting to that dark point, it's going to want to try to burn on you. You've got to add just a little bit of water to it to keep it from sticking to the bottom of the pot and burning. But essentially, you're just about to the point where it's burnt to make a proper dark roux to make a gumbo. As soon as I get a chance, I will have a video coming out, and that's part of the video. Now, I don't make a dark roux out of it. I'll make more of what's called a blonde roux because I was making pork. I didn't want it so dark. But the process is all the same. Just the longer you cook it, the darker it'll get. I suggest using vegetable oil instead of butter. I feel it works better.
Eric, as soon as I get some made up, I'm completely out of stickers right now. I have been for a while. I ain't gonna lie. It ain't made it very high enough on the priority list to get them taken care of yet. But I got I honestly, every sticker on the board, everyone who sends anything to me, and here's proof. I have your address, your envelopes, everything right here. And so every single person, every single thing I get, I try to send everyone back stickers as well. So, well, I got a whole bunch I got to get made up. What's this say? I heard from reliable source Chris was working on a front deck booster seat to reach over rails.
That's just wrong. I don't know who highlighted that. I have no idea.
I don't know.
It just popped up there. I don't even know.
So we covered a lot of electronics tonight. I kind of went through the slides, as a big overview to actually break down any of this and make it worthwhile. I would have to dig into just one thing, and and that may be one of our deep dives. We are talking about deep dives coming up. What we've got planned in the future, and then what we have scheduled down the road. So you remember who we got next week?
Terry Rogers, right?
Terry Rogers, absolutely. So
I had to think about it for a second. Making me think today. The one final question that we had, I know in my community tab, and this is something I'm going to bring this up because I really want to hear Rogers' answer for this. I really do.
Oh boy,
this is a good one. Is basically Tommy from Mineral Dunkers. How about we take it back to where it all began? Who influenced your love for catfishing? What got you into catfishing?
I packed it away already. I'll be honest with you. I like to catfish because it it was a better fight. You know, I'd caught bluegills and bass and things like that with my dad. You know, he used to take me to an old farm pond. It was actually the landlord's property. And he would take me down there to the farm pond, and we would go around there and catch bluegill and bass and things like that. And it was fun. But when I caught my first, we lived on Paint Creek. And when I caught my first catfish, it fought way harder. And I thought, oh, yeah, this is way better.
Yep.
And I used to, you know, do, you know, chicken liver and all that stuff and, you know, pantyhose. And I mean, I wasn't wearing pantyhose. I mean, I was using it to keep the chicken liver on. But, you know, I was catching channel cats and I was having a good time. And I thought that was a big deal. I finally switched over and started using creek chubs. And I caught my first flathead. And I bet it wasn't 13 pounds. And I was maybe 13 years old. And that was it. Right then and there, that one flathead made me want to chase big fish.
Yeah.
My dad had a buddy that would catch big monster fish out of the same creek I was fishing. And he'd fish, you know, different holes and things. He knew what he was doing. And he would stop by the house and show me pictures, or at the time he kept a lot of big fish. And he'd stop by and show me this big, you know, 40, 50 pound flatheads he was pulling out of the creek. We didn't have blues, pulling out of the creek. And I was like, holy cow, that's in the same water I'm fishing. I got to catch one.
Yeah.
And from there, it was just seek and destroy. It was a passion that burned in me to a fault. I wanted to catch them. I wanted to figure out how to catch them. And I wanted to talk to anybody who knew how to catch them. Of course, we didn't have YouTube back in the 90s and when I was growing up. But that's where my passion grew, and where it started was right there with that one flathead and my dad's buddy showing me that there was huge fish in the same water I was fishing, and I wanted to know how to get them.
Yeah. And for me, you know, in Louisiana, we grow up, we're born with fishing rods in our hands. I mean, that's just, you know, from a very young age. And kind of like Roger, I knew that a catfish was the biggest, hardest pulling fish that there was in my body of water. And I've always chased them in some form or another. Now, growing up, it was a lot of, you know, running trot lines, things like that. You know, even years ago, you know, I come from kind of the I'll call it the dark side of catfishing. Years ago, I snagged for them, 10, 12, 13 years ago. Did it for about a year or two, caught some monster fish doing it. But in my mind, I'm like, no, there's got to be a better way. I did not enjoy it as much as I thought I did. So I said, you've got to be able to catch these on hook and line. Everybody told me that them big fish really don't bite. You can't hardly catch them on rod and reel. That's the way I grew up thinking. Well, in comes YouTube. We start learning how to do it. I'm introduced to this whole world that I didn't know existed. And the final piece of the puzzle for me to start not only really doing what I do now, but being on YouTube was actually Chris Souders. You know, I reached out to him on some Tackle Talk Tuesdays and Facebook, getting questions. And he's the one that guided me to CPR, you know, with the big fish and everything. And it kind of hadn't turned back since.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned Chris here, because Kelly Bullock's next question is Roger and Creole. What made you start YouTube live shows, and who influenced you into doing them? And it's no secret that Chris Souders was my influence to do these live shows, especially on a Tuesday night. Skip Stewart is the one who really pushed me into YouTube. You know, we went out and we do a lot of fishing together. You know, I helped him get started. Now he's the master, or he's, you know, he's an equal. But I truly enjoy teaching or helping people learn. And I would take him out and I would teach him stuff. And he's like, man, you should share this stuff. You're keeping it all to yourself. It's kind of greedy.
Yeah.
He said, you know, you should share. You're a good talker. And I don't know what that meant. But so I finally got into the YouTube thing. And then when it came to live shows, I truly look forward to every Tuesday night, the Tackle Talk Tuesdays with Chris Souders. And, you know, Chris has got a busy, hectic life. And, you know, hopefully one day he is able to return and to a schedule.
Yep.
as right now, I think I've got him booked up for a night here on the show with us. He's busy. It's hard to pin him down, but
I'm going to try my best not to geek out live in front of everybody. I'm really going to try hard.
When Chris ended up not be able to do Tuesday night Tackle Talk Tuesdays anymore, I'll be honest. I started watching SmackDown Catfishing there for a little bit with Stacey Gass and them, and the next thing you know, they quit. So now there was no shows going on Tuesday nights, and I don't know. Skip kind of talked to me a little bit, and I was like, man, somebody needs to do a show Tuesday night. He's like, why don't you do it? I didn't really plan on sticking with it this long. I thought I'll just do it for a while. I'll do it till SmackDown comes back. Well, turned out they weren't coming back. And I actually contacted Joey Kirby and Stacey Gaston and said, hey, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I got a Tuesday night show at 8:00. They said, let it roll. We don't know what's going on or when we're going to come back and get started. I said, okay. Gotcha. They came back and I reached out to them again. And I said, hey, I kind of established myself here on Tuesday nights. I got a nice little fan base going on, and I truly enjoy it. And they said, hey, to each their own, man. They said, have your show, and we're going to still do our show. And they said, no harm, no foul. You know what I mean? So here we are. However many episodes later, a year and a half of doing these shows. I've only missed a few. I've had a couple. I think I had a couple last year, maybe. Just missed a few. And Creole, he'll see. He did the show with Stan before. For those of you guys that do a weekly show, I see Jody is in the house. She does a weekly show. I know a lot of other guys, do some kind of random shows throughout the week and whatnot. But to be here every single Tuesday night at 8:00, it's tough.
Yep,
if you guys think about yourselves here in chat, to make a commitment to be here every Tuesday night to hang out with me and Creole.
Yep.
Sometimes you just don't make it, but as a host for the show and my dedication to this show and this channel, I put this show first.
Yep, that's it. So, and with me with YouTube, it's kind of almost the opposite. It's we started catfishing way before we did YouTube, and as I'm learning from people like Chris Souders, Steve Douglas, Richard Jean, that was my three big ones first starting out. I was like, okay, where's the people from Louisiana doing this? Because I wanted specific information on my area. There was none. There was none. So after a while, and really it was my wife that's like, well, why don't we start doing it? I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. So I started throwing some little videos up here and there, and here we are. It's been about 2 years since I started doing it. And like I said, we just wanted to represent Louisiana where it wasn't being represented by anybody else. And I've been really, really happy, really blessed with how everything has turned out. I mean, my expectations when I first started, it's gone so far beyond whatever I could have hoped for. It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah. It's the same for me. To be sitting here a year and a half, I don't even know how long it's been. I try to look at the numbers, but some of the live streams didn't have a number, or I didn't number them in the beginning, and things like that. But to be sitting here, a year and a half later, hanging out with my buddy Creole.
Yeah, baby.
9:00 at night, we got 72 people in chat hanging out and hopefully having a good time. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, ding ding,
smash it.
Smash that thumbs up.
Smash it.
And if you enjoyed tonight's show, some information. Now, we don't have to have a community post and have you guys go over that. That's just something fun we tried. Yeah. We're going to try a lot of things this year, I believe, and just kind of shake things up and break the norm and just kind of have some fun. And, this year is all about the viewers, all about what you guys want to see, what you want to hear, what you want to learn.
That's
and, it don't take a community post. You send a message to any of our videos. Right. You send a message to either one of us. We love show ideas. Sometimes we're scratching our head like, what do you want to talk about next week?
And sometimes we just wing it.
And there'll be shows and we just wing it. I hit it once. You want me to hit it again? No, Brian. Well, if you're going to hit it more than once, hit it 3 times.
There you go.
But yeah, so we enjoy, being here, and we enjoy making the show what you guys want. We're going to pick up good guests along the way. I've got some good guests lined up. Next week we got Terry Rogers. He's a guide that fishes the confluence of the Ohio, dumping into the Mississippi. Got a lot of years experience. So Captain Terry Rogers. And then we've got, I believe after the week after that, I think we've got, his name just slipped my mind, Adam Cook from Nautical Pride Fishing out on the James.
That's going to be a good one.
And I think we got Chris Souders right after that. So I got excited. I started throwing the messages out, and I am going to kind of back off for just a few weeks. And we're going to start, we'll do some other, based shows. But then we're going to go back out and look for talent and look for information. And I'm just as geek as anybody here in chat. I want to learn everything I can learn.
Yeah, exactly.
I share what I've learned, and it's mostly regurgitated from, a lot of other sources. And,
Me and you hit it at the same time.
Did we really?
Yeah.
I think one of us, it might have took it down. Mike's Fish home with a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much for that. This stuff helps out.
Yeah, it does.
The StreamYard fees and just getting out and doing stuff. Now, we did go fishing today. Me and Skip made it out today. We hit the Ohio River. We were fishing the Kentucky bordering water today. So a lot of times we don't do lives from down there just because these guys really kind of lurk on our spots. Although, thinking about it today, right there, you need Steve Adams on your show. All right. I bet I can make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time we're fishing the Ohio. Our fish are all caught on the Ohio side of the river. And Kentucky commercial fishermen are allowed to set nets on the Ohio side. So thinking about it more today, we probably could have done a live stream today. We ended up with 8 fish. Biggest fish was 25 pounds.
Okay.
Very cold water, and very, very slow, tedious bites.
Mm-hmm.
Very slow bites. For some reason today, heads was the ticket. Caught a couple on fillets, but mostly heads all day today.
Yeah. That's always my favorite piece. If I had to fish with just one thing the rest of my life, big old slickerhead. I love them.
Right, here's a great suggestion. Need some knowledgeable bank fishermen as a guest. Yeah. I've got somebody in mind. But if anybody has a person that they maybe a channel that you like watching, a bank fisherman that you feel is knowledgeable or you enjoy learning from, send me a message. I'll reach out to them and see if we can't get them on the show. And that's how you learn things. Today, when we came in from the boat, the Division of Wildlife, National Resources was sitting in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, that's get your head down, you just go. No, we loaded the boat up and we went straight over to the officer and said, "Hey, got a question for you. I want to clear this up because when you're fishing the Ohio River, it's a 3-rod limit on Ohio. But when you're fishing Kentucky bordering waters, they have an unlimited rod.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're fishing against West Virginia bordering waters, they're also unlimited rods. And so, it's always been explained to us that it's a reciprocating law back and forth, and that Ohio will honor their laws and you can use unlimited rods. However, when we went to ask him, he wasn't sure. And said that he would. Now I don't know if Skip's still in here. If he did call Skip tonight, but we know that that's how it's supposed to be. But I want to know that they know that's how it's supposed to be, and I wanted to hear it black and white.
Yeah, exactly.
Because unfortunately, I hear Lyle talk about it a lot. Unfortunately, a lot of our laws and regulations and stuff, they're not black and white. You kind of gotta be a little nerdy or get a lawyer that can break that stuff down for you to understand exactly how everything's shakes out. But
look what happened with Steve Douglas when he thought he had the West Virginia state record.
Yep.
You know, just with the law wasn't clear on that, and now he put out a great video on it, you know, of the situation, what happened, and everything else, and how it came to be.
I'm not sure who this Ian is my blogs is, but they seem to be saying the same things over and over again. Thanks, Doc. Stay home. Do the 5. Not sure. I'm not sure. I haven't been paying attention to chat. Nobody's timed them out or got rid of them. So I'm guessing.
I think I have seen that name in some of Tinkerbell's stuff.
Okay. Well, hey, if we got new guests.
The name does look familiar.
Gotcha. We got new guests from across the pond. Then more than merry and welcome.
Yeah.
I just try to make sure that we don't have
absolutely
stuff going on here in chat. Well, Jeremy, we've been at it for an hour and 16 minutes, and I know you feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I say we wrap things up tonight. You guys be ready.
It was an awesome show. I learned a lot, that's for sure.
You learned a lot.
Yeah.
Well, see, last week it was all you, buddy. It was a spotlight was on you, and I was feeling pretty bad.
Oh, come on.
And so it worked out really well.
I like to talk. You know me.
Huh?
I like to talk. You know me.
Yeah. Now tonight it was all me, and you're not feeling too well. So, man, we make a great team.
I love it, brother. I love it.
Hey, right there's a 3-hour, 4-hour show right there. Roger, guys, get epic. Yep, we already
late night one right there.
Yeah, we already talked to him on and off.
Yeah, he's down for it anytime. I can tell you now. He is a 10 minutes before the show starts. Hey, you want to come on? That's about all it would take.
Yeah. But I say if we gave him a topic and try to keep him on that path, it could be a pretty cool show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I gotta stop ignoring my family.
Come on, man.
Big Skip Fishing, Muskrat. Can I get your email? I'm going to type it here in chat for you. I could have put it at the bottom of the screen.
You know what? I'm going to put mine in there too.
Make sure it's all spelled right. There we go.
Got mine in there.
Mine's just rdement.jr@yahoo.com. So if you guys if you look me up, on Facebook, it's Roger Dement Jr. You can add me there and we can chit chat there. You can email me either way. I try to keep up on both of them pretty consistently.
Yeah.
So we're going to shut her down. We're going to head out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. And we'll see you back here. Same cat time, same cat channel. See you guys.
Bon pêcher, everybody.